Let's Talk Tanya for the 3rd of Teves of a leap year. Over the last days of Tanya, we've come to see just how important and valuable a mitzvah is. Ultimately, the only way to connect to Hashem is only through studying some Torah or doing a mitzvah. It's not about having some sort of rapture, some sort of spiritual enlightenment, some sort of feeling towards God, but it comes down to doing a mitzvah or studying some Torah. With this, Dr. Rebbe is going to explain 2 teachings in the Pirkei Avos and the ethics of our fathers that seemingly conflict with each other. Our sages tell us that 1 hour of pleasure in the world to come is greater than all the pleasures in this world combined. And then our sages say, however, 1 hour of mitzvahs in this world is greater than the entire world to come. So which one is greater? And obviously the answer lies in the words. The pleasure in the world to come is greater. What is the pleasure in the world to come? Over there, the soul, after it is divested from the body, it goes up. It's not limited anymore by the limitations of the body. And in the world to come, in what's known as Gan Eden or paradise, over there you have a tremendous revelation of God, which the soul is able to process and comprehend and apprehend. And that feeling of intimacy that the soul experiences with God in Gan Eden, the pleasure is so incredible that there's nothing in this world that can compare to it. Think about the pleasure of intimacy, the pleasure of the greatest relationship possible. And here, the soul is having that relationship with God. However, ultimately, the soul is limited. The soul is finite. How much exactly can the soul, even when it's without a body, how much can it understand God? How much can it appreciate God? Only a very, very limited amount. So the relationship is very limited. However, when we down here in this world, when we study Torah, when we do a mitzvah, we are connecting to the very essence of God. Why? Because the Torah is God's wisdom and the mitzvahs are God's will. And God's wisdom and God's will are absolutely one with God himself. And when I do a mitzvah, I am being dissolved in God's will, the one who gave me the mitzvah. When I'm learning Torah, I am right now taking within me, I'm absorbing God's wisdom, which is God himself. And that relationship with the essence of God is something which cannot be experienced in the world to come. So yes, pleasure, greater over there. But if you're looking for a true relationship with God, there's nothing that parallels being here in this world, studying a passage of Torah, or doing a mitzvah. But now you may ask, but 1 second, the mitzvah I'm doing, it's a physical mitzvah. The Torah that I'm learning also, the concepts I'm studying about are physical concepts. So obviously, this is the divine wisdom, but it's wearing so many garments. It's wearing this physical garment. Is the connection to God real? Dr. Rebbe says, yes, and he gives an analogy to explain. Imagine that you get an embrace, a hug from a king. Imagine what that would feel like. Now, would it make a difference if the king's arms are bare, or if he's wearing just a shirt with shirt sleeves, or wearing a jacket and there's another garment on it also? No, it makes no difference. It is the king who is embracing you regardless of how many garments he is or is not wearing. And the same is true about Torah. When we're learning Torah or doing a mitzvah, this is God embracing us. This is God hugging us. This is the ultimate relationship. It doesn't make a difference how many garments the Torah or the mitzvahs are wearing. Ultimately, what matters is what's in the Torah, what's in the mitzvah. That's God himself. And when we're learning the Torah or doing the mitzvah, that is the greatest relationship possible with God. Now, up until this point, we're talking about the relationship with God, the connection that is forged through learning Torah or doing a mitzvah. In next chapter, starting in tomorrow's Tanya, the Alter Rebbe is going to explain to us how, yes, relationship is both through Torah and mitzvahs, but there's an incredible advantage to studying Torah over doing mitzvahs in the relationship that it creates, as we will find out, God willing, in tomorrow's Let's Talk Tanya.